Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter of your physics book, chapter number 7, Electricity and Magnetism. Before starting the chapter, let us discuss various objectives of the chapter. In this chapter, we will learn about laws of magnetism, tests for a magnet by repulsion, then electromagnetism, that is electromagnets and their applications, electric bell. We will also learn about electric current as a flow of electric charge, electric cell as a source of electricity, then about resistors as components that oppose the flow of current, symbolic representation of electric components, then simple electric circuits, series and parallel, battery as a collection of cells connected in series, and at last we will learn about good and bad conductors of electricity. Today we will learn topic number 7.1, properties of magnets, and 7.2, test of a magnet by repulsion. First of all, what is a magnet? Students, magnet is a substance that attracts things made of iron towards itself. A magnet has two poles. In fact, all the magnets, no matter which shape, all the magnets have two poles, that is North Pole and South Pole. North pole is the end of a magnet that always points towards north direction when suspended freely. This pole is also called north-seeking pole. And south pole is the end of a magnet that always points towards south direction when suspended freely. This pole is also called south-seeking pole. Let us now discuss various properties of a magnet. Directive property. It means a freely suspended bar magnet always points in the north-south direction. Let's understand this property with the help of an activity. Tie a thread exactly in the middle of a bar magnet and suspend it from a wooden stand. Adjust the height of the magnet so that it is just little above the ground. Now, mark the positions of the ends of the magnet on the ground when it comes to rest. Draw a line joining these two points. Now push gently any one end of the magnet to its left or right by a small amount. What do you observe? The magnet is set into rotations. The magnet comes to rest after making to and fro motion for some time. Again mark the position of its ends on the ground. What do you find? Rotate the magnet once again and note the final direction in which it comes to rest. We find that magnet always comes to rest in the same direction. The end of the magnet that points towards north direction is called north-seeking pole. And the end of the magnet that points towards south direction is called south-seeking pole. Students, this property that we have just discussed now only is used for making compass. The directive property of magnet is used to make compass because Earth itself behaves like a magnet. Earth has its own magnetic field and north and south poles. So when a magnet is held free, it interacts with Earth's magnetic field and points in the particular direction no matter where you are. This topic is not given on your book. You must note it down. Next property is attraction and repulsion property. We have already discussed this. Opposite poles, that is, unlike poles of two different magnets, attract each other, whereas similar or like poles of two different magnets repel each other. Next property is attractive property. Magnet has a property to attract the magnetic substances. We have already discussed what are magnetic substances. Iron, steel, nickel, cobalt, all the substances that are attracted towards a magnet are called magnetic substances. And this is one of the property of magnet, that it attracts magnetic substances towards itself. This is called attractive property. Next characteristic is if you split or break a magnet, the broken end acquires opposite pole. That is, you can never separate the poles of a magnet. It means a magnet always have two poles, north pole and south pole. If you cut a bar magnet in half as shown in picture here, then each half becomes its own bar magnet with north and south poles, right? Next is a stronger magnet has more magnetic force. That means stronger the magnet is, more will be its magnetic force. Magnetic force between two magnets depends on distance between them. The closer together the two magnets are, greater is the magnetic force between them. As shown in the diagram here, in first case, as you can see, there is less distance between two bar magnets, so there will be more magnetic force between them. But when the distance is increased, in second case, there will be less magnetic force between these two magnets. It means closer together the two magnets are, greater is the magnetic force between them, right? Let us now read the topic for better understanding. Open your books on page number 66. Properties of magnets. In our previous classes, we studied the various properties of magnets. Let us see them again. A piece of substance which possesses the property of attracting small pieces of iron towards it is called a magnet. Students, underline, this is the definition of magnet. If the substance has a regular shape of a parallelepiped of small thickness, then it is called a bar magnet. Students, parallelepiped is a 3D structure whose all faces are parallelograms. Students, this is a bar magnet. It has a rectangular cross section. One of the first things anyone notices in examining a common bar magnet is it has two centers of force called poles, one at or near each end of the magnet. Rather than being distinguished as positive and negative, these poles are called north pole and south pole. North pole is also known as north-seeking pole and south pole is known as south-seeking pole. This terminology comes from the early use of the magnetic compass. A bar magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. These poles are situated at a small distance inwards from the two faces. The north pole of a compass magnet is the north-seeking end, as I told already. That is the end that tends to point north of the earth. Let us now read the properties of magnets. The following laws are followed by magnets. First is directive property. When a magnet is suspended freely, it always orients itself in north-south direction, as we have discussed. Second, attractive property. A magnet can attract small pieces of magnetic substances like iron, steel, cobalt, alnico, etc. Students, underline these substances. These are known as magnetic substances. The attraction is maximum at the two ends called poles. This point is also to be remembered. The maximum magnetic force is at the poles. It is minimum or zero at the center of the magnet. Next is isolated poles do not exist, which means if a magnet is cut into small pieces, each piece itself will become a magnet having both poles. It means that we can never separate poles. Next property, like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. This is called attraction and repulsion property. This is depicted in the figure here. You can see these are the like poles. When we bring north pole near the north pole of another magnet, they will repel each other. But if we bring south pole of a magnet near the north pole of another magnet, they will be attracted towards each other. Next, the force between two magnetic poles depends inversely upon the square of distance between them, which means more the distance between two magnets, less will be the force of attraction between them. Why? Because it is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Next, repulsion is the surest test of magnetization. Students, let us now understand about this property, that how repulsion is the surest test of magnetization. Repulsion is the surest test of magnetism. Suppose we have a bar magnet and a piece of iron bar which look similar to each other, and we want to find out which one is a magnet. See, attraction is possible between the opposite poles of two different magnets and between one pole of a magnet and a magnetic substance like iron. So if the given piece is attracted towards a magnet, it means it can be a magnet or it can be magnetic substance like iron. But repulsion is possible only between the like poles of two different magnets. So if there is repulsion between the given piece and a magnet, it means that the given piece is definitely a magnet. In this way, we can say that repulsion is the surest test of magnetism. Let us now read from the book for better understanding. Test of a magnet by repulsion. Students, it is a well-known fact that only a magnet can repel a magnet. This is because repulsion takes place only between two like poles of a magnet, whereas attraction takes place between two unlike poles of a magnet and also between a magnet and a magnetic material. So, by attraction, it cannot be surely identified that substance is a magnet or not. So, we can say that repulsion is the surest test of magnetism. You can clearly see from this diagram also. See, attraction is possible between two unlike poles of a magnet as well as between a magnet and a magnetic substance like iron. But repulsion is possible only between two like poles of a magnet. So from repulsion only we can conclude whether the given piece is a metal or actually a magnet. So we can say that repulsion is the surest test of magnetism. Students, you must be able to answer all these questions. What is a magnet? Mention the basic properties of a magnet. What are the magnetic poles? How can we decide the north and south pole of a magnet? What is meant by the directive property of a magnet? Students, note down all these questions and revise properly. Thank you.